Okay. We're good. Over. Mm. I think I like it. Okay. Holy shit, I'm tired. Ah. Um. Oh shit, that actually works. Oh, coolsies. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, likely just gentlemen, but you never know. We are learning to program. Why am I hearing it? That's why. Okay. Hopefully there's no echo. Today we are learning to program because don't lie to me, you've been scrolling all day. You've been scrolling all night. You've been scrolling all year. It's the end of 2025 and you still don't know how to program because you've been scrolling. So today we're going to fix that by learning how to program instead of scrolling. So, what programming language you may be asking? Well, the best one. That's a false statement. C++ is obviously the best, but one of the best. Python. Not the snake, the program. Yes, Python. We're going to learn Python today, and it's going to be a great time. Okay? We are going to see if I can situate this. All what we're going to do is we're going to follow along with this very wise man. He has strung together an amazing compilation of edumacation for us to learn for free upon this YouTube. And that is what we're going to do today. It's going to be a good time. I have to go to work soon, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. We got to learn Python. All right, so recap from last time. What we got going over here is this is a Mad Lib, right? He was teaching us how to store values into input and then to take that input and then print it inside of a Mad Lib. Mad Lib is basically a thing where you ask questions, and then you put your answers into a story. And this story right here was amazing. It didn't make much sense, but let's run it. Let's see what from last time. Let's see what was happening. Let's go like this. Maybe. Let's run it. All right. Color. BLUE. Give a place. Your mom. Your mom. Give a thing. Uh, Poop. Let's see what this spits out. Oh, give a noun. Harry, that's what that's supposed to spell, but I don't know how to spell it, so we're not. Okay. Once there was a blue Harry at your mom. The Harry found a poop and felt very happy. Everyone at your mom smiled and had a nice time. I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time. That was a great Mad Lib right there. All right. So, what is on the next for Mr. Silly over here? Let's see. Let's follow along. There's going to be a lot of yapping in this. Okay, so there's not going to be a lot of commentation by my part because we have multiple hours left to get through. So, let's let her rip.
Good to go. So let's come over here and we'll run our program, and then down here in the console we can play our little Mad Libs game. So let's say enter a color. I'm just gonna say magenta. Enter a plural noun. Why don't we say microwaves? And enter a celebrity. Let's say Tom Hanks. So when I click enter, what should happen is we should get our Mad Libs printed out. So I'm gonna click enter. And now we have our Mad Lib. So it says roses are magenta, microwaves are blue, I love Tom Hanks. So it's a pretty good Mad Lib. And obviously,
ours was better.
The more print statements we put over here, the better the Mad Lib could be. And we could store as many, variables up here as we wanted. This was just a very simple Mad Lib. We only took in 3 inputs, but you could see how you could take something like this and create a little Mad Libs game. So your homework for this lesson is to go off and make your own Mad Libs game, hopefully one that's a little bit funnier than mine. But that's the basics of creating a Mad Libs game in Python.
Lists.
In this tutorial, I want to talk to you guys about working with lists in Python.
Lists.
A lot of times when you're programming in Python, you're going to be dealing with large amounts of data. And when you're dealing with large amounts of data, you want to make sure that you can manage it and organize it properly. And a list is essentially just a structure that we can use inside of Python to store lists of information. So we can take a bunch of different data values, we can put them inside a list, and it allows us to organize them and keep track of them a lot easier. So generally you would create a Python list and you would put a bunch of related values inside of that list, and then you can use it throughout your program. So I'm going to show you guys just the basics of using lists. We're going to look at some of the common use cases and really just get you up to speed with what lists are and why they're useful. So over here in my program, I'm actually going to create a list, and we create a list a lot like we create a Python, just like a normal Python variable. So the first thing we want to do when we're making a list is give it a name. So we want to give it a descriptive name, something that's going to basically describe what's inside the list. In my case, for this example, let's make a list of like friends. So we could say like, here's a list of all my friends. So I can say friends, and I'm going to set this equal to the list of values that represent my friends. And when we want to create a list, we can use these open and closed square brackets. So whenever you use these open and closed square brackets, Python basically knows, okay, they want to store a bunch of values inside of this list. So why don't we go ahead and start adding some values? So we can say like my friends are like Kevin, Karen, and let's say Jim. So here I have 3 values inside of my friends array. So when we're creating a normal variable in Python, generally we just give it one value, right? So I would create a variable, I would give it one value, maybe a string or a number or a Boolean. But when we make lists...
I need to rewind, my brain was off.
And let's say Jim. So here I have 3 values inside of my friends array. So when we're creating a normal variable in Python, generally we just give it one value. Right, so I would create a variable, I would give it one value, maybe a string or a number or a Boolean. But when we make lists, we're able to store multiple values inside of the same like little item, inside of the same object, right? And then what I can do is I can access these individual items inside of my program. So inside of this friends list, we're basically storing all of these different values, and that can be really useful. So now that we've stored some values, let's talk about what you can put inside of a list. So you can really put any piece of information in Python. We could put things like strings, numbers, or booleans. So if I wanted, instead of just putting strings here, I could change like one of these to a number, and I could change one of these.
How come his things are orange and mine are blue? Is my syntax off or something? I don't think so. I'm curious as to why it's printing all of this shit. A lot of extra shit to be printing when you could just print Liam, Oren, and John.
These to a boolean, and it wouldn't match. Really useful. So this will items inside of my program. So inside of this friends list, we're basically storing all of these different values, and that can be really useful. So now that we've stored some values, let's talk about what you can put inside of a list. So you can really put any piece of information in Python. We could put things like strings, numbers, or booleans. So if I wanted, instead of just putting strings here, I could change like one of these to a number, and I could change one of these to a boolean, and it wouldn't matter. Python's going to be fine with that. But let's change these back to strings just for the sake of the example. So
this is good information. Let me see something. God damn, I am tired. Fuck.
now that we've created our list, how can we access individual elements inside of this list? It's a good question. I'm going to go ahead and print something out to the screen. The first thing we can do is we can just print out the actual list. So I can just say print friends, and then when I run this program, if we look down here in the console, you can see it's just printing out the actual list of friends, right? But let's say that I wanted to print out a specific element inside of this list. Well, I can actually refer to elements by their index. So each one of the elements inside of this list has a particular index. And the indexes actually start at 0. So we would say that this first element in the list, Kevin, has an index of 0. We would say that this other element, Karen, has an index of 1. And this third element, Jim, would have an index of 2. So even though Jim is technically the third element inside of the list, it has an index of 2. And that's because we start indexing at index position 1. And so that's just kind of how lists work, and that's how list indexes work. So if I wanted to access a specific element inside of my friends list, I can just refer to it by its index. So over here, after we type out friends, I'm just going to type an open and closed square bracket. And inside of this open and closed square bracket, I want to put the index of the element inside the list that I want to access. So if I wanted to access this guy right here, this element, I can just put a 0. So I can say friends 0, and now when I run my program, it's just going to print out that value. It's just going to print out Kevin. If I wanted to access this Jim value over here, I can put a 2, and that will give us that Jim value. You can see right there. So we can access elements based off of their index. We can also access elements based off of their index from the back of the list. So for example, if I said -1 inside of here, this is going to give me access to this value right here for Jim. And you can see that's what it does. So when we use negatives, it starts indexing from the back of the list. So if I said -2, this is going to give us Karen. And so you can use the...
My question is now, what if we want to access 2 individual sections of this, you know, like what if we want to access 2 variables or 2 things inside of it?
Negatives to access items at the back of the list.
Because doing a comma doesn't work, as you can clearly tell right here. That is just a no-go. That's spitting out an error like it's no one's business.
Just keep in mind though, and this is kind of interesting. We would say this first element here is index position 0, right? But we would say the first element at the back of the list is index position -1. So just keep
Okay.
keep that in mind. So there's actually other ways that we can access like just portions of this list. So for example, let's say I just wanted to select the last 2 elements in this list and I didn't want to select the first one. Well, in here, I can just say 1 with a colon, and this will grab the element at index position 1 and all of the elements after that. So now we should just grab Jim and Kate.
That's a little strange. But I can see. What do you mean? What's wrong with this? Why are you tripping? Oh, that's fine. Never mind, I lied.
Karen. Or Karen and Jim in that order. I could also specify a range. So actually, let me add in a couple other elements just so that we can illustrate this better. So I'll add in 2 more names. So if I wanted to, I could select like the element at index position 1 up to the element at index position 3. So it's going to grab this one. So that's 1, 2, and it's actually not going to grab the third one. So it's going to grab all the elements up to, but not including 3. So it'll grab Karen and Jim. Let's go ahead and run
So
this.
that makes it to where it's not including. So if we were to do 0 right here, and then we were to do a 1, it would do this through this, but not including this. Hopefully. Liam. That's it. Why is this? Why is this? So 0? Oh, not including. Oh, so obviously. So we need to do 2. So now it should be Liam and Oren.
Karen and Jim. So you can either just put like 1 with a colon after it, and then it'll grab that index position and everything after it, or you can specify like a range that you want to grab from. So that's how we can access elements inside of this list, but we can also modify elements. So for example, I could come down here. Let's say I want to modify this value right here, Karen. Well, all I have to do is just access that element. So I could say friends, and Karen is at index position 1. And I could change this to whatever I want. So I could say friends index position 1 is equal to Mike. And now when we print out friends index position 1, that value is going to be updated. So it's just going to say Mike instead of saying Karen. So it can be really useful to modify values inside of arrays. So it can be really useful to modify values inside of Python lists. So those are kind of the basics of working with lists in Python. And actually in the next tutorial, I'm going to show you guys even more ways that we can use these lists. We're going to learn how to like add elements to a list, delete elements from a list, copy lists, and a bunch of cool stuff with these lists. But for now, this has just been sort of like the basics of working with lists.
All right, let's try that. So fuck, how did he do it? Did he do this and then this and then 0? Fuck, I don't remember how he did it.
Sort of like the base.
Yeah, that's how he did it. Friends. Oh, so he does this. Okay. Poopy equals why is this? Oh. So now it should be Tom and Oren. Hopefully this is the output we acquire. That is indeed the output we have acquired. Indeed. All right. Let's get on with these shenanigans.
Basics of working with lists. In this tutorial, I want to talk to you guys about using functions with lists in Python. In Python, a list is one of the most important structures where we can store our information. A list basically allows you to take a bunch of different values and organize them and store them inside of...
My brain was off right there. I need to rewind that. I also want to grab some chips. I'll be back. I'm going to let it play, actually.
In this tutorial, I want to talk to you guys about using functions with lists in Python. In Python, a list is one of the most important structures where we can store our information. A list basically allows you to take a bunch of different values and organize them and store them inside of their own little list structure. So down here in my program, you can see I have two lists. I have a list of lucky numbers, and this is just a bunch of different numbers. And then I have a list of friends. So this could be like a list of somebody's friends.
I'm not going to lie. My brain was completely off that whole time. I was thinking about chips. Damn. Oh, no. I passed the... That's why.
Elements inside of... Let's access... Mike is going to go to inside of... In the next app list. Talk to you guys...
Here we go.
In this tutorial, I want to talk to you guys about using functions with lists in Python. In Python, a list is one of the most important structures where we can store our information. A list basically allows you to take a bunch of different values and organize them and store them inside of their own little list structure. So down here in my program, you can see I have two lists. I have a list of lucky numbers, and this is just a bunch of different numbers. And then I have a list of friends. So this could be like a list of somebody's friends, and it's basically just a bunch of strings with names in them. So these two lists are storing a bunch of different values. And what makes lists awesome is not only could I store like this many values, I mean, I could store hundreds or thousands or millions of values. And when you're working with a lot of data and a lot of information in Python, these lists are invaluable. So because lists are so important, there's actually a bunch of different functions that we can use with lists. And those functions allow us to do things like modify the lists and get information about the lists. So in this tutorial, I just want to show you a bunch of those functions. We're going to talk about some of the most common and the most popular functions that you would use on lists to make them more powerful and make them more easy to use. So the first thing we can do is obviously just print out a list. So down here, I'm printing out this friends list. And when I run my program, you see down here, we're just printing out all the elements in the list. So it's always good to be able to print out all the elements inside of a list. But there's a lot of other functions that we can use. So one function is called the extend function. And the extend function will basically allow you to take a list and append another list onto the end of it. So I could say like, a function is called the extend function. There's a lot of...
My brain was off again. I need to rewind.
Other functions that we can use. So one function is called the extend function. And the extend function will basically allow you to take a list and append another list onto the end of it. So I could say like friends.extend. And inside of these parentheses, I can pass in the list that I want to add on to the friends list. So I could say like lucky numbers. And now when I print out this friends list, not only is it going to have all the elements in the friends list, it's also going to have all the elements inside the lucky numbers list.
So friends.extend lucky numbers.
You can see down here we have all of our friends, and then we also have lucky numbers.
So it's going to extend it in the order in which the extend is like. I was wondering if it was extending lucky numbers upon friends, or if it was extending lucky numbers upon, or if it was extending friends upon lucky numbers. It would appear to be the latter.
Numbers list. You can see down here we have all of our friends, and then we also have the numbers over here. So that's a really easy way to essentially just like add two lists together. We can also just add individual elements onto a list. So I could come down here and I could say friends.append, and this will actually allow me to append another item onto the end of this list. So over here, I could just add another name. So we could say Creed, for example. And now I'm like adding another friend onto the end of this list. So when I run the program, in addition to having the original items that were in the list up here, we also have this additional item at the end. And that append function is always going to add the item onto the end of the list. But let's say that you wanted to add an item into the middle of the list, so like right here or right here. There's another list function called insert. And insert is going to take two parameters. The first parameter is going to be the index where you want to insert the item. So why don't we insert it here at index position 1? I'm just going to say...
Okay. Let's try that. One moment. Some damn good. Slash add. That's damn good though. Oh, it's spicy. Like, I don't think that should be that spicy. Alright. What we're gonna do, where's that slash sound? We're gonna do like this. Poopy dot, that's not the dot, append look at all these different things. Look at all these different things right here. Whoa, holy shit. Not, we have this is cool. Shit. Let's see if there's an easy one. What the hell would sort do? What if we're gonna do this? We're gonna do, instead of this, we're gonna make another PP. We're gonna equal it to, you know, bam. We're gonna go bam. Nope. No. We're gonna do that, and now what we're gonna do is, no, God, my keyboard's so weird. Maybe dot. Am I not doing this right? Oh, do I have to print? No. E P dot. Okay. End to complete line. All right, now we're gonna print this. Oh no, we have to press. Okay, my level of autism right now is not coinciding with this right now. Let's see. So we should get. We should get Tom and Oren, and then we should get, hopefully, I don't know what this sort function is going to do, but let's see. 3, 4, 7, 8. So it sorted it from lowest to greatest. That's kind of cool. Look at that. That's kind of cool. You can think about all the like places where that'd be like stupid useful. You know what I mean? Holy shit! I'm tired. Ah. Huh. You know, I'm gonna go like this. Because there's no one here anyways. So we're gonna go like this. Actually, I'm gonna switch these guys around. There we go. That was a lot better. And there is the downside that y'all can't see. But I can just move it up. That's fine. No, that works perfectly fine. Yeah. Oh, what is this thing tripping out about? Is there supposed to be a comma or something? Or a space? What's up with this? Type alias is not generic or already spatialized. Typo. You're telling me typo? Yeah, obviously it's a typo. Oh, but this isn't spatialized. What's up with this? Am I supposed to like... Whatever. Seems wrong, but
Say
it's okay.
1, and then I'm going to type in the name of the element that I want to add. So we can just say like Kelly. And now at index position 1, we're going to have the value Kelly, and all of these other values are going to get pushed up. They're going to get...
Is that who the fuck I think it is? Is that who the fuck I think it is? Hold up, let me pop this shit out. Is that who the fuck I think it is? Tis indeed the best cigarette flavor. Yes, it is indeed. Let's get that over here. Yeah, dude. I don't know why the fuck I made that thing, dude. I mean, it was fun though. It was fun. It was exotic to say the least. That was an interesting invention to say the least. Well, homie, I'm glad to see you have found the channel. This is literally like the single most boring stream I've ever done, but that's because it's the only reason I can get my ass up off my ass to just start programming. So that's like literally the only reason why I'm live streaming me learning how to program. This is just the trenches, you could say. All right. Well, homie, it is very nice to see you here. Very, very nice. I'm gonna get
pushed to the right. I'm going to type in the name of the element that I want to add. So we can just say like Kelly. And now at index position 1, we're going to have the value Kelly, and all of these other values are going to get pushed up. They're going to get pushed to the right 1 index position. So now when I run the program, you can see we have Kevin, this new element Kelly, and then all the other elements have been pushed off to the right. We can also remove elements. So for example, let's say I wanted to remove this Jim value. All I have to do is just say friends.remove, and I can just type in whatever element I want to remove. So I want to remove this Jim element. And so now when we run the program, Jim is going to be gone from the list, and we just have...
Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to do print. What we're going to do. We're going to do... If my keyboard would work, that'd be so great. Move. We're going to... Is it... What does it look like? Remove dot. Okay, so it's... Bam. And go bam. ORAM. And that should be good, right? Yeah. None. The fuck is happening? What the fuck's happening? Okay, so right here we have this list, right? And we're accessing this list. We're replacing Liam with Tom, or Tom, or yeah, Liam with Tom. So this should just be Tom, Liam, or Tom, or Oren, John. That's it, right? And then we're gonna access it right here. But then here's the problem, right? Or we're gonna access it right here. We're gonna print it down here inside of this thing. We're gonna print it, but we're gonna remove Oren. So I feel like it should print out Liam and or Tom and John, right? Like that's what it should do. Let's play it. If
Type in whatever element I want to remove. So I want to remove this Jim element. And so now when we run the program, Jim
you know you he's actually in town, by the way. He is actually in town. I mean, not on. I guess only until fucking like Monday. But yeah, no, Big John is in town indeed.
Jim is going to be gone from the
Surprised you remember him. If that's who you're talking, if we're talking about the same person, I'm surprised you remember him.
list, and we just have these 4 guys left. You can also remove all of the elements from the list. So if I just wanted to completely, Jim is going to be.
Okay, remove Jim. Yeah, look. So for him, that shit worked. Oh, this is what. Okay, well, what if we're to do this, right? Bam, bam. Remove Oren. That should be good. Now print. All we're gonna do is we're gonna print. Oh, no, that works. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Like that. Now we should get Tom and John. That should be what we get. Tom and oh, you don't even get to see that. God damn it, I'm autistic. You didn't even get to see that this whole time. Tom and John, ladies and gentlemen, Tom and John. So this looks a little confusing, but what are we looking at? We have a list right here, right? And what is this list? It's 3 people. It's Liam, Oren, and John. But what is this? What does this do with Poopy? What we're gonna do with this Poopy is we're gonna replace something, right? We're replacing number 1 because remember, this right here is 1, or sorry, this is 0, 1, so 0, 1, and then 2, right? So we're replacing Liam with Tom. So we have Tom, Oren, and John. Now what's next? We got, we're gonna replace something. We're gonna replace, oh, we're gonna remove something. Sorry, we're gonna remove Oren, and then we're gonna print it out onto this right here. We're gonna print it. What does that look like? It looks like Tom and John. That's what I'm talking about. Good shit. All right.
Be gone from the list, and we just have these 4 guys left. You can also remove all of the elements from the list. So if I just wanted to completely like reset the list and get rid of everything, I could just say friends.clear, and this is gonna give us an empty list. So it'll get rid of every single element inside the list. There's also another really cool method which is called pop, and you can just type out pop like that. And basically what pop's gonna do is it's gonna pop an item off of this list. So when I click the play button, you'll see here that we're left with Kevin, Karen, Jim, and Oscar. So we basically got rid of the last element inside the list. And that's what pop does. It pops an element off of the list. So it basically removes the last element in the list. So we have our list, but let's say that we wanted to figure out if a certain element was in this list, right? If a certain value is in here. So let's say I wanted to check to see if my friend Kevin was in this list. Well, I could say friends.index, and in here I can just pass a.
Let's see. We're gonna do this. Dot index. Dude, this keyboard is so goofy.
A value. So I could say like Kevin, and this is going to tell me the index of Kevin. So it'll tell me if Kevin's in the list. So now when I click play, you can see down here it says 0.
So I'm not doing that right. Hold up.
Me if, and this is going to tell me the index of like Kevin, and this is going to tell me the index of Kevin. So it'll tell me if Kevin's in the list. So now when I click play of Kevin, so it'll tell me if.
Oh, that's why. Oh, okay. One. I'm receiving a one. So that's true?
Kevin's in the list. So now when I click play, you can see down here it says 0. If I was to say like Oscar in here, for example, now it'll give me the index of Oscar. So that's 3. But if I put a
we're indexing. I'm not asking if it's in there. I'm seeing where if it's in. But what if we do orange? What if we were to see if an orange is in this list of friends? Nope. I mean, I would think that it would spit out I would assume it would spit out a fucking a 0 because it's not, but it's just spitting out an error. Well, maybe he's about to do that.
Wasn't in here, so like if I put Mike.
Sometimes I just need to play the fucking video, I swear.
That's not in the list.
Fuck!
Really cool method.
Un momento, por favor.
Of Oscar. So that's at 3. But if I put a name that wasn't in here, so like if I put Mike, that's not in the list. And so now we're going to get back an error because it says Mike is not in the list. So that's an easy way to figure out if a specific
tracks
element is inside of the list. And if it is, then you'll know what index it's at. You can also,
I feel like you should just No, that does make sense to throw an error. That does.
Also count the number of similar elements in the list. So I'm actually going to come down here, copy this gym element, and we'll add another gym element into here. So I could come down here and I could say friends.count, and we'll pass in gym. And this will tell me how many times the value gym shows up inside of this list.
Oh, that's cool.
So it should say 2, which it does down there, because we have 2 values with the text gym.
Dude, Python's fucking crazy useful. Like, that shit just works. Like, that shit just works, bro. Go study, my homie. Go study. Yeah, instead of scrolling, my friend, you need to go study, okay? That's what you need to be doing. That's what I'm doing. So you need to be studying too, okay? We are living in a world where our attention is very valuable. And if we give it up to the scrolling, well, then we won't know how to program Python. And then that's going to be a problem. So go study. If you are procrastinating, go study right now. All right? I'm going to study right now.
So we have all these values. We could also sort this list. So I could come over here and I could say friends.sort. And what this will do is it'll sort the list in ascending order. So we have a bunch of
Python is fucking crazy. Like, this shit's like, it's so intuitive, you know what I mean? Like, it's so intuitive. Like, I learned Python fucking years ago, but like, I have not touched it in years. But dude, this shit's it's kind of like, it's easy to learn. Like, this feels easy. Like, I feel like I'm gonna pick this shit back up in a second, you know? Damn.
Basically what it's going to do is it's going to put it in alphabetical order. So you can see we have J, K, O, and T. So the list went from being just random order.
Let's try that real quick.
See what the list.
All right, so we're going to do, so we got a list right here of friends. We're going to sort it. Okay, yeah, we're going to sort it. Let's do this. We're going to do be sure. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's something else. We're gonna get rid of this and this. And now what we're gonna do. You were scrolling and you found this? You know what you need to do? You know what you need to do? Oh, that was probably so loud. I'm sorry. You know what you need to do right now? You need to stop scrolling and you need to stop watching this video. Stop watching this video. You have things you want to do in life, such as make shit, and you gotta learn with the tools in your brain, such as learning how to program. Okay? So go learn a program right now, okay? Or if you don't want to learn a program, watch me learn a program. Because that's what we gotta do if we want to make it. Okay? We said we were gonna learn a program years ago. We never did it. We need to do it now. No more procrastinating. No more scrolling. Alright. What we're gonna do is we are gonna take this, right? We're gonna remove this too. What we're trying to do is we're gonna sort this list. We have a list right here. Liam, Orrin, and John. We're gonna sort this. Or something like that. We're gonna friends. Let's do so we're gonna sort, and then we should just do open, close, parentheses. We're gonna bam. We're actually missing one. Bam. Nope. Something looks wrong. Something feels wrong. Friends. Oh. Or no, print friends.count. What the fuck's happening?
In ascending order. So we have a bunch of text here, and you'll see what it does. Basically, what it's going to do is it's going to put it in alphabetical order. So
okay, so how did he do that? So he did. We have the thing, right? We have friends, right? And then he sorted it.
Does basically.
Oh, and then you just print it. I should be good right now to just play this. Okay, none. Why is there none? Why is there none? Excuse me. This doesn't make no sense. Good luck, my homie. I hope you find some nice, crazy programs to program. Or if you don't want to, if you're not a programmer, maybe just stop scrolling. Okay, maybe stop scrolling. All right. My question is, why the fuck is this throwing none? Sort.
What it's going to do is it's going to put it in alphabetical order. So you can see we have J, K, O, and T. So the list went from being just random.
Day 5. Yeah, you see, we're on day 5. How long I think it's going to take? I think I'm going to be 97 years old and I'm still going to be learning how to program. So we're on day 5 of 30,000. I don't think a human even lives 30,000 days. That's crazy. No, they probably don't. That's like 200 plus years, I think. So we're on day 1 of a few thousand. But yeah, just one day at a time. That's the important part, you know? Like, that's the important part. I'm trying to print the sort, not the... Ladies and gentlemen, we have a genius. We have a genius in chat. We're gonna go bam. Bam, 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 bam. Let's see. Lock in. Oh, whoever the fuck you are, you're a genius. I hope you know that. That might be the most simple programming thing to ever known, but I'm a retard. So you are, in my eyes, an intellect beyond all measure, and I appreciate your assistance today. Thank you. Epic. I am very sorry I am using this mic. Maybe I should do this. Okay, maybe that's a little better. Maybe, kinda. Okay, I'm sorry if it sounds like a bomb is going off inside of this room. Sincerely. Actually, we can adjust that right now. We're gonna do, but then I'm normally talking at like a regular level. Yeah, okay. Maybe I just need to stop getting so close to the mic. But yeah, thank you though. Thank you for that snidbit. Let's lock in.
Order, like whatever we had up here, to now it's in alphabetical order. And that's also going to work for lucky numbers. So I could say like lucky numbers dot sort, and then we'll print out lucky numbers. And these should now be in ascending order, which I'm realizing they already are up here. But if I was to take this 42 and put it down here, now it will figure everything out and put it in ascending order anyway. We can also reverse a list. So if I wanted, I could reverse this lucky numbers list. I could say lucky numbers dot reverse, and now when we print it out, instead of being 42, 8, 15, 16, 23, it's going to be 23, 16, 15, 8, 42. So it's basically just reverse the order of the list. And finally, there's one more list function I want to show you guys, which is copy. So I could actually create another list, and I could make it as a copy. So I could say like friends 2, and we could
let's see this.
Copy. So, and finally there's one more.
Sorry, I need to go back. My brain shut off.
I want to show you guys, which is copy. So I could actually create another list, and I could make it as a copy.
Yes, my homie. A few thousand days. Programming is something you don't do for a few 30 days. That is not what we do. You program for lifetime, right? I have some driver boards for motors I need to program, right? Hold up. Give me a moment, if you will. Sorry for those who are trying to learn and I keep on pausing. I sincerely apologize, but I need to show why we are learning to program. Actually, it's right here. Here. This bag of Schedule 1 narcotics. No, I'm joking. It's a driver board. Where am I? This right here is what you call a driver board. It controls a BLDC, that is a brushless DC motor. And what is a brushless DC motor? It is awesomeness. And why do you need it? You need it for robot. But what does a robot arm need? It needs Python. Copious and copious amounts of Python, of which I do not understand. So, this little bad boy, this is why we are learning Python as we speak. This is why the next 30 to 60 to 100 days is going to be dedicated to just learning the ins and outs of finagling numbers inside of console. Okay, this little thing right here. But what is this thing controlling? What is it controlling? I present to you the Steadywin 135 Newton meter motor. This thing right here could pull your car. Okay, this thing is powerful on steroids. Okay, this is why we are programming. These we have multiple of them, and we're going to be programming until those fuckers turn into a robot arm. So if that is something you're interested in, if you want to see this robot arm come to life, we're in day 5. You're in the early stage. Please consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me. Because we are on a journey of creation, not scrolling. We've done plenty of scrolling. It is time to create. Because you know that like haze you get in after like 2 hours of scrolling? You know, you're just like your will to live is just gone. It's gone, right? But all you want to do is all you want to do is create. Like we go, you know, wake up, go to work, come home, scroll, go to bed, wake up, come home, scroll, go to bed. And it's like that 10 minutes right before you go to bed, you're like, I could have done something today. But when you got home wanting to do something, you just picked up the scroller. Next thing you know, there goes 3 hours of your life when you could have been learning how to program. You know what I mean? So what this series is literally just learning how to program, because I'm sick. I am exhausted. My patience for scrolling has been exhausted. Okay. So it is time to learn. It's time to do. Okay. It's time to start like thinking that we want to do it. It's time to actually start doing it. So if that is you and you would like to join this journey of creation, consider subscribing. It'd mean the world to me. And hopefully your recommended will be filled with amazing content such as people learning how to programming tutorials, and you will learn how to create exquisite things such as robot arms, of which I'm going to do. But yeah, that is enough yapping. If you'd like, consider subscribing. That would mean the world to me. But let's get back to learning, because we've not been doing that. We've been scrolling too much. We haven't been learning. So let's get back to it. All right.
So I could actually
I'm gonna rewind a little bit.
Another list function I want to show you the order of the list. And finally, there's one more list function I want to show you guys, which is copy. So I can.
Oh, that was a good comment. The feeling of knowing I should have done something better, but then cannot give myself or get myself to start something new. I guess I'm in a similar situation. Homie, there are so many people in that type of situation right now because like scrolling it's a bottomless pit. You know what I mean? Like scrolling genuinely is a bottomless pit of just like it tickles your brain in just enough ways. You want to do something, you want to create, you want to draw, you want to make that novel, you want to make that animation, you want to make that computer, whatever the hell it may be, you know? You want to start going to the gym, you want to start doing these things, but then you get home and all of a sudden there's this wonderful little magic mirror that you can just bottomlessly scroll upon. And it amuses your brain just enough that you don't pick up, you don't take that first step and just download an IDE and just start programming, or you don't pick up the pencil and start drawing, or you don't go to the gym and start lifting like it just takes that first step. I mean, it takes a lot of first steps. Don't get me wrong. It takes a lot of first steps. But it is something that so many people are struggling with, and I'm glad that people in chat are feeling the same way as me, because it is quite exhausting, you know, wanting to do something with your life, but then you don't, because you can just scroll. You can sit down and scroll bottomlessly. So yeah, that's a great comment. That truly is. That is a really great comment. I appreciate stuff like that. That's really awesome. Actually, I could probably put this somewhere over here. Maybe not. I'm not too sure. Actually, hold up. Let's go like this. We're gonna go like that, to where at least you can kind of see chat a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're actually gonna be able to see that. It's probably like 3 pixels. We were working on a very rough internet, but yeah. Join the journey. Consider subscribing if you are done scrolling, or not if you're done scrolling, but if you're exhausted with scrolling, you know, and you want to see just creation instead. You want to create. So consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me. And thank you if you have. So let's get back to learning.
I could actually create another list and I could make it as a copy. So I could say like friends2, and we could set this equal to friends.copy. And now friends2 is going to have all the same attributes as friends.
Ah, okay.
Because it's.
Let's try it out real quick. Okay, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go poopy dot wait.
Basically just like.
Okay, no, we're gonna do poopy 2. We have to do poopy 2 because this is the second poopy. You know, poopy 2. And then we're gonna make that equal to poopy dot copy. Look at that. Ooh, there's so many things. Copy, sort. Wow. What if we were to do sort? What if we were to do copy and then dot sort. No, maybe. Well, maybe. How do we sort this now? Oh no, and then we go to print. We're gonna do a print. We're gonna go like this. Poopy. I can't spell for the fucking life of me. Poopy 2. That's 1. 2 dot sort sort. Do I need another thing? And that should be good, right? So what we're gonna do, reverse. We're gonna get rid of this, right? Okay. So wait, so what we have right here is we have Poopy. It's a list. It's Liam, Oren, and John. Poopy 2 is actually a copy of Liam, Oren, and John. It's going to copy it, but what it's going to do is it's going to sort it in alphabetical order. I don't know if this is in alphabetical order or not. So we should get 2 lists right now when we print this out. And we're not. Oh, this is why. This is why. Because a very handsome gentleman in chat had informed me earlier that we need to print it separately. No, that's a capital P. Print. No, that's PP2. We're gonna like this. PP.sort. Now this should work. We should get 2 lists. 2 lists. Look at that, ladies and fucking gentlemen. Look at this. That is glorious. That is. Oh, that is excellence. That is excellence. Homie, subbed. Your day 5 is my day 1. That means the world to me. That means the world to me. That means the fucking world. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce her name. It's O.S6377, but there's a human behind that username. And that human wants to change. That human wants to change his ways from scrolling to doing something creative, doing something fun, doing something difficult. So, if this is your day 1, good fucking luck to you, my guy. I bet you're going to do it great. Find something that you just want to do with all your heart. Put your phone in another country, okay? In the other room, if another country isn't nearby, throw it in the other room. And just sit down with your own thoughts. And just start creating. Just get off the damn phone. If you need, stop watching this stream, okay? Get off the electronical devices and just start creating. Maybe your creation is on electronical device, just like this, right? My creation is on electronical device. It's literally using a computer, so it's a little bit difficult to like not, I can scroll right here, bottomlessly. But what you can do is you can add little blockers right here, Look at that. Bam. We just added a blocker. Did we just block our own chat? We might have. Add little blockers to where you can like block the home feed to where it's like life is a little less distracting, And you have more mental capacity when you get home off of a hard-ass day of work to just do the things you really want to do. For me, that's programming. So I can make a fucking robot arm. So I appreciate that sincerely. You subbing means my day. And the fact that you're saying my day 5 is your day 1, that means literally the world to me. So, congratulations. Let's make it last, bro. This can be the turning point. And you can have a great life after this. You can have a great life. All right. Let's get back to the trenches. Let's start learning.
Copied. It basically took a copy of that friends list. So you can see it's the same exact thing. And copying lists can come in handy in a lot of different situations. So those are just some basic list functions, and just to kind of like, get your feet wet in working with lists. Obviously, like the more you work with them, the more you practice using these different functions, the more comfortable you're going to get. But that's just kind of like a basic overview of what you can do.
Yeah, so that's whenever it comes to functions, I'm thinking that this is specifically whenever it comes to, this dot function. Let's go over here. Let's go. What the hell's happening? Okay, right? Dot. Look at all the things that come up. Like, let's do dot. Look at this. Oh, let me move my fucking fat ass. Look at this. There is an infinite amount of things you can learn within these. And then to combine these, there's 1,000 different ways of combining them. And then you can make them blend in certain ways to eventually you're making a robot, right? Like this is, it's strange because it's kind of in Python's kind of intuitive. Like, look, append, count, sort, like all these are English language, like English words. They're not. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, so we're gonna definitely come back to these functions. But what we can't come back to is our time whenever we're scrolling for 9 hours a day. So, let's not scroll. Instead, let's learn. All right, what are we on next? Tuples? Tuples?
Get, but that's just kind of like a basic overview of what you can do.
How do you pronounce that? Top, topples? Tuples? I don't, dude.
Tutorial, I want to talk to you guys about tuples in
Tuples. Okay.
Python. Now, a tuple is a type of data structure, which basically means it's a container where we can store different values. Now, if you're familiar with lists
I was literally about to say, isn't that a list? But
in Python, a tuple is actually very similar to a list. It's basically a structure where we can store multiple pieces of information. But a tuple has a few key differences from lists that we're going to talk about in this tutorial. First thing I want to do is I want to show you, though, how to create a tuple. So I can come down here and I can create a tuple.
We're going to remove all of our stuff right here so we can clear our mind, our ability to think. But you can't think once you're done scrolling for 6 hours at a time. That just doesn't happen. You're cooked. But if we clear our slate right here, we might be able to think. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go.
Tuple. And one of the most common examples of tuples is coordinates. So let's say I had a series of like XY coordinates. I could create a variable called coordinates, and I'm just going to set this equal to an open and closed parentheses. And whenever we want to create a tuple inside of Python, we're going to use these open and closed parentheses. And inside of here, inside of these parentheses, we're going to put the values that we want to store. So I could, for example, put a list of numbers. So this could be like my coordinates. I could have like 4 and 5. So this would be my tuple with coordinates inside of it. And one of the things about tuples that makes them unique is a tuple is immutable. And you'll hear that word a lot when we're talking about tuples, immutable. It basically means that the tuple can't be changed or modified. Once we create our tuple up here, you cannot modify it, you cannot change it, you can't add elements to it, you can't erase elements from it, you can't change any of the elements inside the tuple. What you see is what you get. Once you create the tuple, it's as it is. It can't change. So I could come down
as is. That's good. I like this. I like this a lot.
Here, and I could print out some of the attributes inside the tuple. And the way I can access them is just by using an open and closed square bracket. And in here, I can pass in a index. So tuples are indexed starting at 0. So technically, we would say that 4 is at index position 1, and 4 is at index position 0.
Look at this. We got chat. Think of a tuple like a locked list. That's good. That is really good because I can see so many different points where that's like crucial. You know, like let's say we're trying to do a limit switch for like a robot so it doesn't like fucking break into itself. You want that limit switch, that position, to not be changing because like if it's changing and it changes past its like limit, the robot's just gonna fucking break itself. It's literally just gonna turn until something gives. So I can see how a tuple is very important in that context. Yeah. Once created. Immutable. That's yeah. That's a good word. I like that. Tuples are like lists, but store data in parentheses. That's very helpful. Thank you. That's actually good to know. Okay.
Position 1. Sorry, but technically we would say that 4 is at index position 1, and 4 is at index position 0, and 5 is at index position 1. So if I said coordinate 0, now it should print out 4. And down here, we're printing out 4. So if I wanted to print out that 5, we can just put a 1 inside of those square brackets, and now we'll print out that 5. So I can access the elements inside of a tuple. I can easily access each entry.
Okay.
But if I was to come over here and try to change one of the elements, so if I said coordinates 1, and I tried to set it equal to something else like 10, Python's actually going to give us an error when we run this program.
Let's try this. Wait, so coordinates, so it's saying this equals 10, and then print coordinate 1. We're changing coordinate 1 to 10. We can't change it, so it's going to throw an error because it's asking for something that can't be changed.
So I'm going to run the program.
I see.
See, we get this error. It says type error.
Dude, let me tell you, you were onto something whenever it comes to that. I'm going to go on a little side tangent, right? Because we just had a very astute comment. Whenever you're learning something new, right? We have been scrolling so long, past 5 fucking years, that our brains have shut off. We can learn a million things, but we're not going to ever apply it. So here's the million, billion, trillion dollar thing that you have to do if you're trying to learn something. You have to invest a little bit of effort into it, if that makes sense. Just a little bit. For some people, that's writing. For some people, that just even reading it is pretty good. But writing it down or applying it as soon as you learn it, that is like crucial. It is absolutely crucial. That is why whenever we are seeing this, we have to apply it immediately. I mean, I wish I can apply it into some giant program that cures cancer or something, but we're starting from this, right? We're starting from this tiny little thing. So whenever you learn something new, think of a way that you can apply it. Think of a way that it applies in the real world, and then you will learn it, and it will retain in your brain for so much longer. So this is a very, very, very wise comment. That is actually very, very important and necessary for the learning process. Learning instead of scrolling. We're done scrolling. Okay, we can't be scrolling anymore, boys. We can't. We cannot, because our brains are turning to mush. We need to be exercising our brains to capacities which are unheard of. We need to learn Python in a week, okay? It's not happening. It's going to be forever. Do I look baked? Do I look baked? My eyes aren't that red. Probably talking like I'm baked, though. I'm probably talking like I'm baked. I'm not. Okay, I'm not. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of people in here. I need to do a little quick reminder. You clicked on this video probably because you have experienced a lot of scrolling in your life recently. A lot, okay? If you've lived in the past 5 years, you've either consumed copious amounts of content and or scrolled your life away when you want to do something better with your life. You want to do something fun. You want to create something. But whenever you get home from a long day of work, you just sit there and scroll. So I'm making this live stream, yes, to learn a little bit of, Python, because it's a good fucking thing. But let's be honest, guys, we've been scrolling too much. So if you feel that you've been scrolling too much, please consider subscribing, because this is the place in which we are going to eliminate such habits, such destructive habits. It's a very destructive thing, what scrolling is. We want to create, we're creatures of creation, but we're not doing that. So I'd appreciate it if you subscribed. It would mean the world to me, sincerely. Some of you already have, and that's literally the fucking coolest thing in the world. I appreciate it so goddamn much. But we need to take back our lives. You know what I mean? We need to take back our lives. We've been doing way too much scrolling, and we need to do something fun. We need to learn something. I'm gonna learn Python. I'm gonna get back to it. I've been yapping too much about that, but you guys know just how important that is. You know, like I'm saying shit to a camera, but on the other end of it, there are people that have likely, if you're clicking on this, have been scrolling too much. So I appreciate it, my boys. I sincerely do. Let's get back to it.
Tuple object does not support item assignment because it's immutable, because we can't change it. So
yes, I did just start learning, or technically no, I did not start learning Python just now. Actually, you'll see here, this is a comment of mine 2 fucking years ago. This is a 2-year-old comment. I learned, this is what, 4 hours? That's like, you know what I mean? I learned Python. I learned basically everything in this video, but I was scrolling past 2 years, bro. I've been scrolling like it's been no one's business. I've been just consuming content. I haven't been doing the creative work. Okay. So we need to get back on it. We need to get back on the grind. Get back on the journey of creation, because we don't have all the time in the world. So we gotta get back to creating something great. And if that's something you're interested in, if that's something you want to do, consider subscribing. I'm sorry. I have to ask. Go ahead. Grift. I'm gonna add that to my vocabulary, my homie. I'm gonna add grift to my vocabulary. That's a great word, grift. That's fucking grift. All right, we're doing stuff in Python. Let's get this bad boy. I've been getting a little distracted. I've been getting a little distracted. Okay, I've been scrolling a little too much. All right, let's get this going. So what we're trying to do right here is this right here is an immutable list, or whatever you call it. It's a tuple, right? And it's unchangeable. So what we need to do, or what we're trying to do, is we're actually trying to throw an error, because we're gonna make this thing, we're gonna turn it so that it is equal. Well, we're gonna do maths. We're gonna make this thing throw an error really quick. Maths, bam, is equal to, because these things are unchangeable, if we decide to make this unchangeable value into something else, we decide to make it, we decide to set the value to something else, and then we print it, right? If we print this whole maths, oh god, I almost fucking just died. Okay, maths, and then we do 0 for the first list, the first thing in the list, whatever the hell you call it. God damn, if I can select a fucking Jesus. If we do this, what's gonna happen is we're gonna error, because we are changing this immutable, or however it's unchangeable list type thing. And you guys know. Y'all are teaching me. You'll know.
That's basically what tuples are, how we can create them, and a tuple, like I said, it's very simple. You just create it and then you have it. And now I want to talk to you guys about a common topic in Python, which is the difference between tuples and lists. So remember, a list is basically doing the same thing. A list, if we wanted to create a list, we would just use square brackets instead of those parentheses. And if
Graft, not grift. I like grift though. Grift seems like a cool word. I don't even know what it means, but it seems cool. Yeah, don't worry, no beef. Oren, you know what you need to do? Oren, for those of you who do not know, I would implore you to check out Homeboy's channel. His name is Oren John Moore, and he is a man that decided to stop by this morning but not say hi while sleeping. And he does calisthenics. He needs to get onto posting. He needs to stop scrolling. Okay, Oren, he needs to stop scrolling. No. Wait. Yeah, I was sleeping, but hey, thank you for the cot. That thing is sick. Hold up, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 3 seconds. 3 seconds. Thanks for the cot. Yeah, this is... God, I get so distracted so easily. That is what homeboy Orange John Moore got me for Christmas. I appreciate it. That's from Santa. You are chunky like Santa in the best way though. Like you can carry a large sack for many miles. That sounded wrong. He's shredded, by the way, for those of you who don't know. Okay, we're getting distracted. See, this is what scrolling does to the brain. You get distracted from learning shit. Okay? Let's get back to it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to it. We have been distracted. Okay. Oren, no more distracting. All right. What's happening? Oh. Why isn't this thing playing?
Using a list, I could assign different values to it. I could basically mutate any of the elements.
I concur with that statement. I bet Oren would too.
I could add, delete, modify, change, whatever I wanted with the list. But with a tuple, we can't do that. And that's sort of the basic difference. And really, Python doesn't say anything more than that. It basically just says, like, one of them's immutable, one of them's not. But in practical use cases, generally, people will use tuples for data that's never going to change. So you'll store data inside of a tuple when that data doesn't need to be mutated. That's why something like coordinates is such a good candidate for a tuple, because once you have coordinates, like, we're probably not going to modify them, right? We might add other coordinates. So for example, if I wanted, I could create a list of tuples. So I could say like 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe we have some other coordinates like 80, 34. So here I have a list, and inside of it we have these tuples. But remember, these tuples can't be modified. The values can't be changed. So really, it's just a case-by-case basis. I would say by a huge majority, you're going to be using lists most of the time. Tuples are more of a niche. You know, they're used in more special situations. But there are plenty of situations where you want to use tuples. So if you're in a situation where you want to store data that can't be changed or mutated,
such as a limit switch,
then tuples are the way to go. So yeah, that's just some basics about tuples, some basics about the difference between lists and tuples. And so a tuple is a great thing to add into your Python repertoire.
Repertoire? I like that word. I'm going to use that. All right.
In this tutorial, I want to talk to you guys about
scrolling. If you've been scrolling a little too much this year, consider learning something new. Consider putting down your phone. And consider locking it in the other room and just sitting down with your own thoughts. We have not been doing that. Okay, so consider doing that. That'll be very beneficial to you and your growth. We used to be imaginative, but that's no longer the case. That is no longer the case. Stop scrolling and let's learn Python.
Using functions in Python. Now, a function is basically just a collection of code which performs a specific task. So I can take a bunch of lines of code that are basically doing one thing. I can put them inside of a function, and then when I wanted to do that task or do that one thing that the function was doing, I can just call the function. And so functions really help you to organize your code a lot better. They allow you to kind of break up your code into different, little chunks that are doing different things. And they're really...
Okay, I'm sorry. My brain was... I need to rewind a little bit.
I can put them inside of a function. A bunch of lines of code that are basically doing one thing. I can put them inside of a function.
This is important too, this functions. Sorry, my brain fucking was just not here for a moment. That's why we need to stop scrolling.
In Python. Now, a function is basically just a collection of code which performs a specific task. So I can take a bunch of lines of code that are basically doing one thing, I can put them inside of a function, and then when I wanted to do that task or do that one thing that the function was doing, I can just call the function. And so functions really help you to organize your code a lot better. They allow you to kind of break up your code into different, little chunks that are doing different things, and they're really just awesome. So functions are like a very core concept when we're talking about programming in Python. So I'm gonna show you guys how to create an awesome function today. Let's say for the purposes of this tutorial, we want to create a function that says hi to the user. So the one task that our function performs is basically just saying hi to whoever is writing the program. So over here, if I want to write a function, the first thing I have to use is a keyword in Python. It's called def, so def. And basically, when Python sees this keyword, it's going to say, okay, this person wants to use a function. So after we type out def, we need to give this.
Yes, by the way, I'm trying to learn all of Python at once, at least to some extent. I can't really. I have to go to work in. Holy shit, 30 minutes. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 3:33 p.m.
Shit! That day went by quick. How long have we been streaming? We haven't even been streaming an hour. An hour and 30, I guess. Shit, I gotta go to work in 30 minutes. Let's get through some functions. Let's get one function. Function seems like it's a large chapter. We're gonna get through one function, okay, ladies and gentlemen. Let's lock in. Let's lock the fuck in. We're gonna learn the def function.
Function a name. So just like when we are creating variables, we give them descriptive names. We also want to do the same thing with functions. So if I'm creating a function, I can just give it a specific name, which basically says like what it's doing. So we're going to create a function that says hi. So I'm just going to call this function say hi, just like that. And once we type out the name of the function, and so also I could type out say hi with no underscore, or I could type out say hi with an underscore. Both are considered like good practices in Python. A lot of times, if you just have a simple like 2-word function like this, you don't need to put an underscore, but we could put an underscore there if we wanted. After we type out the name of the function, I'm just going to type an open and close parentheses, and then I'm going to type a colon. And basically what this is doing is it's saying to Python like, all right, all the code that comes after this line is going to be inside of our function. And in order to write code that's going to end up being inside the function, we actually have to indent it. So over here, you'll notice that when I clicked enter, my text editor automatically indented the text. So it's automatically like using this indent here. And that's kind of like one of the rules in Python is like the code that goes inside of this function needs to be indented. So if I was to write some code like out here, this is no longer going to be considered inside the function. So you can see as I type out code, and obviously this isn't real code, but as I type text over here that's indented, this little like marker over here is basically saying like, oh yeah, that's inside the function. But then when I write code over here that is like not at the same indentation level as this stuff, it's no longer considering it inside the function. So that's just a little thing. Any code inside this function needs to be indented. All right, so our function is just going to say hi to the user. So I'm just going to have it print out some text. It's gonna...
Homie's already fucking on it. Ladies and gentlemen, can we just like before homie was even talking, before this guy was even talking, this homie in chat has already gotten us, okay? Foragin, I don't know how to pronounce shit for shit, but is that Foragin King? You're a G, okay? I don't know how to pronounce, but dude, you're a G. We're gonna try it. We're gonna print. Let's try this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try it. We're missing something. We are missing something. What are we missing? Maybe we have to access this definition.
Gonna say
maybe.
Hello.
He'll probably get
this
it.
is a very simple function. Obviously, we just have one line of code, and inside of a function, you can have as many lines of code as you want. But for our purposes, we only need one line in order to perform our function. So now all we have to
then call it upon a separate line. Yes, then call it upon a separate line. Yes. Okay. How do we call it though? That's the $1 million question. How do we call it?
Call this function.
We're gonna get that in a second, probably.
If I want to execute the code inside of this function, I have to do something.
Holy shit! I gotta be at work so goddamn soon. Ladies and gentlemen, I gotta go to work soon. We're gonna finish this last function. Once this thing prints out, we're probably gonna be ending the stream. But if you want to stop scrolling, consider subscribing because we've done enough scrolling this year. Okay, let's have 2026 be the year of creating. We're all a bunch of kids inside. We all want to just fucking make some awesome shit. We all want to make some cool shit, don't we? You know, you go to bed and you're like sitting there like, damn, where the fuck's my day gone? You've probably been scrolling or consuming content or some variant of both of them. Consider subscribing if you want to stop doing that. If you want to stop with this mindless consumption and you want to start creating, whether it be programming, whether it be drawing, whatever the hell it may be. It could be anything. Consider subscribing. It would mean literally the world to me. Genuinely. Let's start 2026 with a fucking banger. Let's learn how to program. Okay. I hope my audio is fucking on. Is it? Is it? It is. We're chilling. Okay. That was probably so loud. I'm so sorry. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this last function. We're gonna call upon this definition, and we're gonna end stream because we need to fucking go to work so bad. We're gonna be late.
Program as it is right now. I'm just gonna run.
We're probably gonna get nothing.
You'll see that nothing happens over here, right?
Yeah.
Even though this function is printing out hello user, when I run the program, it's not doing it. And that's because the code inside of a function isn't going to get executed by default. The code inside of a function is only going to get executed when we specify that we want to execute it. And in order to do that, we're going to have to do something called calling the function. So in order to call the function, you basically...
Need I say anything? Homie in chat is a fucking intellect.
You just type out the function
intellect
name and those open and close parentheses. So I'm just going to type out say hi and open and close parentheses and...
Look at this. Look at this. Homie's already gotten this, bro. He's already...
Now, when we run this program again, you'll see that it prints out hello user. So we're executing the code inside of the function. And I want to show you guys just one more thing here. Just talking.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's gonna do one more thing, but we're gonna print this out and let's see what this results. Ladies and gentlemen, let's say absolute cinema. Absolute fucking cinema. Look at that shit. We made a definition. Stop fucking scrolling. What is in this definition? Our homie right here is a fucking cool guy. We're going to call upon this thing, upon this function. We're called upon it. What is in it? This. Look what was printed. Look at that. Absolute fucking cinema. We have one more thing
about how these functions actually work. So
okay, he's probably gonna go into the depth and a bunch of stuff. I gotta get to fucking work, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta get to work. I gotta go. If you want to start out this year with a banger, you want to stop fucking scrolling, mindless content consumption, please consider subscribing because I'm gonna be doing a lot more videos like this because I'm not just necessarily just like, programming tutorials, but like things where we're just creating, you know what I mean? Like we're just here, like building a community, just having a good time. I appreciate every single fucking one of you from the bottom of my goddamn soul. And that's a sincere statement. Genuinely. Thank you for those that you subscribed because some of you did. I saw the notification and it tickled my fucking brain in the nicest way. Thank you. Have an amazing rest of your day. Please consider subscribing if you want to stop scrolling this year. I appreciate all of you. Have a fucking great rest of your day. With that...